This is a story about what happens when information is present, but action is delayed. There was a documentary I watched with a man I'll call Joe. He was describing his former marriage. He said the woman was the woman of his dreams and that she became a nightmare. The documentary depicted there were signs he saw in her. Later, his children were unalived by their mother. I'm not here to explain why she did it. That is not my assignment. The lesson comes before the motive. When someone says there were signs, that means information existed before the outcome. Data was present, patterns were forming, but time kept getting invested anyway. That is not a moral failure, that is a human one. Your brain does not prioritize danger first, it prioritizes attachment, familiarity, hope, stability. The nervous system is designed to preserve connection before it preserves logic. That is why people stay. That is why people wait. That is why people minimize. But patterns do not lie. This is where discernment becomes mathematical. Every relationship is an investment of finite resources, time, access, trust, exposure. When the structure is unstable, the cost compounds quietly until it doesn't. For example, the forensic filtering I use with my private coaching clients is not emotional, it is observational. You watch behavior over time, you track consistency, you note how someone responds to pressure, boundaries, and accountability. You do not average red flags with potential. You do not negotiate with hope. You ask one question: is this trajectory moving toward life or toward risk? Joe said there were signs, which means his intuition registered something before his circumstances forced him to confront it. Intuition is not mystical, it is pattern recognition, operating beneath conscious awareness. And here is the part many people resist. You do not need certainty to change direction. You need enough evidence to stop investing. Yes, this happens to men. And I am speaking to Christian women because too many were taught that endurance equals faith and silence equals virtue. It does not. Wisdom is stewardship, including stewardship of your time and your children's safety. You are not called to stay long enough for harm to become undeniable. You are called to discern early enough that harm never becomes your story. That is not fear, that is maturity. And especially for my Christian women, you want to look at this as discernment and trusting the Holy Spirit, who is your intercessor and who is guiding you. Gotta go. Ciao.